Hello and welcome to video 5 for the compare to baseline tool. Now the last example was one where things had gone very well. These ones we're going to start looking at how the sheet will look if things haven't gone quite so well, or in fact in one case have gone very badly. So here is the sheet. I've just created a new example 2 sheet there. We're going to change up the days a little bit here. So we'll start with 1st of April to 30th of April. 30th of April, there we go. And 1st of May to 29th of June, which does involve a certain amount of time travelling as I record this, as we're in early June, but I'm a sci-fi writer, so why not? What are we comparing? So let's just call this example 1. I didn't think to name it in my notes. So we're going to have 100 downloads. Once again, everything goes red to tell us we need to put in here. And put in $100, 150 downloads, and $150. Actually, something I didn't mention, which some people might worry about with using a tool like this, is, oh, what if I overwrite the wrong piece? And the answer is, you'll get a warning like this. You are only allowed to make changes in the cells where it actually, where we need you to enter data. Everything else is locked down, so you can't accidentally delete a formula and cause havoc in there. Okay, so that's the numbers put in, and as you can see, our compare period is actually shorter than our analysis period here. And looking at these numbers, it looks like things have actually improved. It's gone from 100 to 150 and $100 to $150. Now, if we look at the actual results, you can pretty quickly see that things aren't quite so healthy. So extra downloads, we're actually 50 down on what we would have expected. Because although we had 130 days, that means we would expect 260 days, not 150. And that means that our overall percentage change is also down 25%. And because we used the same numbers effectively, the royalties has done the same thing there. But if I was to maybe say that that was $120, you can see that the loss would be even greater. And you can see the per day changes here as well. So you can see we're down 0.8 downloads per day and 25%, and we're down $1.33 and 40%, and those percentages will match up here because of the way the numbers are calculated. So we'll just return that to what it was. Now, how about if we look at add 2? That's what I was going to call it. Add 1, that was supposed to be. So add 2 maybe for a different series or a different set of books, and in this case we had 1,000 downloads over the baseline period, and then 3,000, and we had 4,000 downloads, but we only made $4,000. So whereas before, one that we were selling at about $3 or a profit of about $3 per book, we're now selling it for $1 a book, or probably 99 cents, but I'm keeping the numbers easy to use. Now what we look at there is we say, cool, that's actually really good. We expected 2,000 downloads over that period, and we had 4,000, so that's really good. We're up 2,000, 100%, brilliant, except we've lost money. So this is one which you might well have as a real world situation. You might try dropping the price of your book. Maybe you sell a lot more books, but you find that you have lost money. And this might just be for book 1, so it might be you say to yourself, well, actually for books 2, 3 and 4, with the sell through to them, we can still make enough money to make it worthwhile. And funnily enough, we have a tool which will help you to work out exactly that. That would be the read-through analysis tool. But for the moment, looking at this one, you can say, well, based on what's happened here, add 2 actually seems to have lost us $2,000, even though it's gained us 2,000 downloads, or add 2 combined with the price drop. So one or the other there was probably not the best idea to do. And again, you can see that reflected here, that the downloads per day is a positive, the royalties per day is a negative. Now, let's try one. Let's call it disaster ad. And if we look in here and say, okay, we're going to do 1,000, 3,000, 100, and 300. Oh, actually, no, that's what I was going to call it. Stopping all ads. So again, what happens if I stop all my ads? Are they actually doing anything useful? And what you can say here is they do appear to be, because when you stopped your ads, you went from 2,000 downloads that you would have expected over that 2-month period to only 100 downloads totally. So that's a 1900 download drop. And in terms of your royalties, you were expecting to get about $6,000, which is pretty good, and you got $300. So you're $5,700 down. So unless your ad spend was pretty phenomenal, you were probably better off leaving those ads in place. Of course, now you have the issue of having turned the ads off, getting them back up again and performing so well could be tricky, but at least you know the ads are working. You can go in there. And again, you see the downloads per day numbers there. So congratulations, you've just proved your ads worked, and now you'll be kicking yourself for cancelling them. But that is still something that's very useful with the baseline tool, because while you could see these numbers and see the difference, you might not realize quite how drastic it is, exactly what the financial impact was, and numbers might be closer. It might have been harder to make out, and especially if your time periods were more awkward. So if we were maybe talking about the 26th of April and then you came in on the 27th of April, you can see we're now doing 26 days and 64 days. Those are difficult numbers to start calculating unless you're using some sort of tool. So that is it for using the tool. The last video, I'm just going to go over a few details of what we are aiming to add to the Pro version and some other tools that we have available as well. So I hope you'll join me. It's not going to be anything directly relevant to this sheet, but it could well have tools or extra enhancements that you would really like to see and make use of. So other than that, I really hope you enjoy using this tool. If you find any issues, hopefully you won't, but if you do, please let us know. We will fix it immediately and get it back out there working correctly. And we're also developing a suite of automated tests that when we do change things, we can automatically make sure it hasn't broken anything else within the tool.